this is a topic that could be a little bit, some people could be like, Yuri's an idiot, you're just a hater, blah 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 blah, or something along those lines. But I want to talk about this like kind of realistically, right? Lil Wayne
I
recently was given a pro model skateboard, and I understand why, because Lil Wayne is, not only is he ultra successful, ultra famous, ultra rich, he has everything you could ever want, but a lot of people would love to work with Lil Wayne. A lot of people would probably pay Lil Wayne $1 billion to be like, I love yo-yos, just so they could sell a yo-yo. You know what I mean? But Lil Wayne genuinely out of his heart, he's not getting paid to do it or nothing. He just fucks with skateboarding. And also, not only that, but there's many clips of Lil Wayne actually skating and like eating shit and falling and all that stuff. So there's certain people who they try to skate and then they fall a couple times, they hurt their leg, and they're like, no, like, it's not worth it. I don't like eating shit. That's, it's not fun for me. He's eaten shit many times and he still continues to skateboard. So he understands the risks and the benefits. So it seems like he's genuinely into skateboarding because he enjoys skateboarding. I'm not saying that he's not, but his skill level is not that of a pro skateboarder. Back, in the early 2000s, when I was just getting into skateboarding, the word pro skateboarder had such like a weight behind it, where you cannot be pro, dude, like, unless you've put in your work. And if anyone even went pro officially the way you're supposed to, and you're not as good as everyone thinks, like, everyone's gonna shit on you and be like, bro, like, you weren't pro because he's your dad, or you weren't pro because of these connections. It's like, people will shit on you if your skills do not match up.
Yeah.
This is Lil Wayne, so he has an exception. A lot of people are gonna be like, I'm a Lil Wayne fan, I don't want to seem like a hater, all that stuff. But looking behind the veil of skateboarding and meeting a lot of ultra talented skateboarders, like, for example, there's this one skateboarder named Cookie Dough. I met Cookie Dough before he went pro, and I was already hearing stories of him. Like, my homie was hanging out with him, he would tell me, like, bro, this guy is like so good, and he's like been this good for many years, and he's been on companies, and he's like, no one wants to take him seriously and no one wants to take him pro. And when I met him, I was like fucking shocked. I was like, bro, this dude is incredibly talented, and he's not a professional, and he's been like amateur for a long ass time, and no one's like giving him the chance to be a pro skater. And then after a while of, like, literally because the fans were bitching, a lot of his fans were bitching, he ended up going pro, thankfully, and he deserves it. But there's other people I've met who, didn't get that benefit of, like, having the fans reach out, or, having people change their mind. And, like, people are really out there super fucking good, dedicated their whole lives to this shit, have gone to the hospital, have spent their last money on skateboards, have done all this shit, so all these sacrifices, and they will never go pro and never get that chance. And then they see Lil Wayne goes pro, it's like a giant slap in the face. You're like, bro, I dedicated my life to this shit, and this dude, just because he's clouded up, gets a pro model. It's kind of fucked up.
I mean, I feel like, yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of another sports. Is he truly a pro skater, or is he just the face of the skateboard company now?
Well, that's what I thought, right? First, I saw the news that he got that he was a pro skater or something like that, and I thought it was, like you're saying, kind of like
they're trying to twist the words.
I thought it was like a word twist where they're saying, like, he's a celebrity pro, for because there was actually, I think Crooked Skateboards used to do this, where usually if you're a skateboard company, you make skateboards out of your pro models, right? I think it was Crooked, but there was a company that was making pro models of people that weren't on the company, people they just fucked with, and they gave them like a month of being pro type shit, right? It's like, oh, we made a pro model of you. And I was thinking, like, maybe it's like a celebrity pro model because he's been fucking with this company, they're really close, all that stuff. No, I saw an Instagram post where they're saying, like, he's been given his own pro model skateboard, like he's a professional skateboarder, and people referring to him as a professional skateboarder. And I'm like, that's cool. No hate to Lil Wayne at all. All I'm saying is, to the people out there that have, like, dedicated life to this shit and are ridiculously good and have not been given that chance by the companies themselves, it's kind of like a giant slap in the face.
It's such a small...
That's the thing.
Sport, though.
And you know what? And here's the thing.
Where there's so many talented people. It's like being a singer. There's so many talented artists out there, but they're never going to be... That's true. ...famous.
And some people...
And there's so many better people that...
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many talented people that are better than a lot of people we're listening to right now.
Skateboarding works differently, though, where skateboarding, you have to get under an established... like skateboard deck making brand that has an established name behind it, and they have to choose to make you pro, and like, it's usually a very difficult thing to reach. and it's kind of like he just skipped a bunch of steps just because he's clouded up.
Privilege.
But also, okay, so some people are going to say, Yuriy, this is good for skateboarding because he's bringing more eyes to it. Yeah. Like you're saying, it's a niche thing. So because,
and he has always been into it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's always been repping skateboarding.
But like now that he's a pro model, it might get more people into skateboarding. It might make it even more popular. I feel like skateboarding, the reason why it is so loved and like, you know, people fuck with it so much is because it had this like underground strict rule set of what it means to be a pro skater, what, you know, what it means to be a good skater, you know, like what it means to be like a fashionable skater. Like there's all these like underground rules of skateboarding that people kind of just like latched onto. And if skateboarding is kind of just like selling out and being like, yeah, you could be pro, yeah, you could be pro, it kind of diminishes the whole fucking groundwork of what skateboarding actually was, which is like this whole, you know, community of people who take this shit very ultra seriously and love doing it. And now it's kind of this thing where it's just like all wishy-washy, anything goes, who cares, you know? The groundwork is all being dismantled at this point, and that's what's dangerous. Is like, you know, Lil Wayne's all happy to grab this board, oh, that's fine, but in 5-10 years, 20 years maybe, when the bubble pops and everyone thinks that skateboarding is lame, you still gonna be skateboarding, or are you gonna be like, nah, that shit was, I did that 10 years ago, dude, I'm over it. Skateboarding, it was cool, but you know, I have other things to focus on.
I don't think skateboarding will ever be lame.
It can be if shit like this continues happening. If, you know, if Taylor Swift gets a pro model because her son starts skating, it's like, okay,
Taylor Swift,
who's next? I don't know. Well, there's my opinion on that. And then also,
and that's on that.
I didn't want to say anything about it because I know that it could be you know, people could very easily disagree and call me a hater and all that stuff. But what made me want to talk about this is talking to Potlord the other day, because Potlord sent me a text going like, you see this bullshit? And I was like, yes. I was like, I'm so happy he agrees with me, because this is bullshit.